Hi, this is Casey Wright, Principal with Right Stuff Marketing Solutions. Welcome to the first in our series of short courses on marketing, taking the mystery out of the process. In this first lesson, we're going to paint with a very broad brush the canvas of marketing. This isn't meant to engage any of these segments of the marketing mix in a definitive way, but will provide a good overview of the options available to you. Many of our clients are overwhelmed with the complexities of marketing. They just want to run their business and have customers come back to shop with them. Unfortunately, without marketing, you'll have a very difficult time in most cases expanding your customer base and your business. I can't tell you how many times I hear people express with great assurance their total understanding of what marketing is, and how many of those people have it completely wrong. Most people think that marketing is the same as sales. Others think that marketing is synonymous with advertising. And way too many people think that marketing is all about spending huge amounts of money, much more than they can afford, to get their business noticed and to entice potential customers to notice them. In truth, however, marketing is actually pretty simple. I like to use this definition when discussing marketing with clients. Determining the correct audience for your goods and services, effectively communicating the features and benefits, and convincing prospects to take positive action that generates revenue for your organization. In essence, marketing starts with knowing your potential customer, having a clear marketing plan, and by the way, we'll talk about that in one of our next courses. Marketing to that ideal customer, providing the goods and services that he or she expects at a price that delivers value, and with response that creates, as Ken Blanchard calls them, raving fans, people who will continue to shop with you and will tell others to do the same. In business, those who are pleased with you will tell 5 others about you. But those who have had a bad experience with you will tell 20 people. So as I like to say, marketing can bring them in, but exceptional product quality and service keep them coming back. And they also lower your marketing costs. Quite simply, there are 10 general marketing elements, and any combination of these can help your business, depending on the customers or clients you're trying to reach. They include sales support, direct response, advertising, e-commerce, search engine optimization, search engine marketing, social media, earned media, point of purchase advertising and merchandising, events and sponsorships, and finally, research. Let's go through each of these and put a little more meat on their bones, shall we? The first element in the marketing mix is sales support. Now, sales support involves pulling together of marketing materials and supporting documentation, helps for the sales team in the field. That could include brochures and any other collateral material that can help the sales team explain the product or service to their customers, prospect lists, and setups. Now, setups are really those calls, the cold calls that are made by a call center to set up appointments, to set up meetings, to set up that sales call. There's also data mining, and data mining is where all of the current customer lists are looked at for valuable trends in both demographic and psychographic information that can lead to additional names and targets for sales. There's also electronic presentations. These could be PowerPoint presentations, movies, audio presentations, anything that can assist the sales team in making the sale. And then finally, there's snail mail and emails. these are the things that really soften the beachhead, I like to say, for the sales team before they go out. So snail mail can include brochures, and it can include a letter from the president. The emails can be the features and benefits of the product, and also the confirmation of the appointment. The second element in the marketing mix is direct response. This is really my favorite area, and the area that I started working in the early 1980s. Direct response means that the customer is contacted on a one-to-one basis and responds directly to the offer made. In this, there are many elements. The largest of those is direct mail. That involves the mailing of a solicitation to an individual. That could be a catalog, it could be a direct mail letter, and we'll go into some of the specific elements in direct mail and how to track response and all of those things in a later training session. There's also mass email, and in mass email, this would be something that Constant Contact could help you with, so that you can mail either 100 or 10,000 names and then track your responses. There's also outbound calling from your call center. These would be the same kind of cold calls that would be made to set up for the sales team, but these would be outbound calls attempting to sell and to close the deal each time. There are also display and classified ads. Now, the difference between a display ad that is really meant to heighten the brand awareness and a direct response display ad is that a direct response ad always has an offer and then a way for people to respond, an 800 number, a web address, a URL, and then classified ads are sort of the younger, smaller, cheaper cousin to the display ads. These are often in the back of magazines and make very good targets for direct response. Billboards also can be used, and these can be the beside the road billboards. They can also be in train stations, airports, other places. They're all known as billboards, and in these there would be a way for people to respond to an offer that's presented to them. Radio and television are very familiar to all of us. The Ronco ads for the Vegematic, for instance, on the television, and other radio spots that make an offer and then have a way for people to respond one-to-one with the sales organization. Google ads also can be used for direct response. And then the final thing is social media. That really has started to pick up recently with direct response solicitations through social media. That would be Facebook, Twitter, and others. So there are a myriad of ways that people can, your company can get into direct response. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be very profitable, but it has to be tracked. The third element in the marketing mix is advertising. And what advertising does more than anything else is to present your brand and really what that brand stands for in the marketplace, and then allows people to become familiar with it so that when they see it at retail, when they see a package on a shelf, they then recognize those qualities that they've been hearing in the advertising. One of the least expensive and most productive ways to advertise is word of mouth. That's where you get to know people in your neighborhood, you get to know people who frequent other stores, people in trade associations with you, and you tell them about this product or service. Another way to advertise is in social media. This is very inexpensive and can be done through your Facebook page or through Twitter. Email and snail mail. Email is very inexpensive. Snail mail is more expensive but tends to have a greater rate of opening. There's also display and classified advertising, and unlike the direct response, These ads are really image ads. These are ones that really tell the story of your product or service. There's also the point of purchase advertising that can take place in either your store or where your distributor is located. And these table tents and other instruments of POP provide the customer with another view and more information about your product. There are also event sponsorships and trade shows. These are great ways to advertise your product. By event sponsorships, what I really mean is when you partner with another organization and you are seen as one of the sponsors, so you get a banner or you can get table tents, various opportunities in the program to be mentioned. The same thing can be done at trade shows, and of course at trade shows you'll probably have your own trade show booth, and we're going to talk about trade show booths in a subsequent training session, and I think you'll find it very, very interesting that there are great ways to do trade shows and ways to waste a lot of money. So we're going to show you the better ways. TV and radio advertising, we really don't need to say too much about that. It's extremely expensive. You can buy some time in off hours, off-peak times that are a little less expensive, but we can also show you how to do that better and be more cost-effective. Billboards, as before, make great advertising vehicles, particularly on a busy highway. And then Google ads, again, great advertising because they're targeted toward the kinds of products, kinds of services that those who are clicking are interested in. And search engine marketing. Those are Google AdWords, and it is a pay-per-click advertising medium, and if managed correctly can be very, very productive. And the final thing are professional associations. If you join one of those, not only do you have the opportunity to market and advertise within your group, but the entire group then advertises you to the world outside. So these are just a few of the advertising vehicles. Great way to market as long as it's managed properly. E-commerce is the fourth element of the marketing mix. Now, e-commerce is different from just having a website because e-commerce is a selling site. It's a site where people can go see products, place their orders, and then those orders get processed within your organization. If you've never experienced e-commerce before, it's substantially different and more complicated than just setting up a website. But if done correctly, it can be extremely profitable. Now, one of the things that is a good vehicle to use for your e-commerce are Google Ads. These drive people to your website. People can click through and get to your website and place their orders. Often companies will also use direct mail, send out a catalog, and also then have a matching e-commerce site where people can place their orders online. More recently, old-time catalogers who went away from paper catalogs only to e-commerce have found that it is far better to have both vehicles operating and benefiting from the synergy of both. One of the elements of e-commerce that is very helpful is live chat. So if you're going to set up an e-commerce site, setting up live chat is extremely valuable. This allows people who have questions about products or services to instantly get their answers and then be convinced that they should place their orders. One of the important pieces of e-commerce is the response and fulfillment. You know, it's great to get the traffic online, it's great to have people placing their orders, but if those orders are not fulfilled quickly, people will go away. People are getting used to what Amazon provides people, and that is instantaneous response indicating that they got the order, and then almost instantaneous fulfillment. I know that in my experience, I know exactly when the order has been placed, and I also know exactly when it's been shipped, and often it's in less than 24 hours. So that's becoming the standard. The follow-up is so important with customers after they've gotten the order to find out what was their experience like. Are they happy? And then whether or not you want to ask people to sign up, use a log-on and a password so that you can remarket to them later. Many merchants are now doing this, but they're also having a guest check-in so that they don't lose potential customers who just want the confidentiality. Site security and the confidence that the order is secure is extremely important. So having those medallions from the various site security companies is extremely important, as are the Better Business Bureau medallions and others showing that you're a reputable organization. And finally, if you want to get into e-commerce but you're not sure exactly how to manage this on your own, Amazon stores is a great way to start. So you might want to look that up and see what that's all about. Anyway, e-commerce, a great and growing. Hi, this is Casey Wright, Principal with Right Stuff Marketing Solutions. Thanks for staying with us for the first lesson in the Simple series, Simply Marketing, Part 1. After this is over, please click on Part 2 to continue with the presentation.